Hello and welcome. I'm Eric Miskell with EMSNOW, and welcome to this edition of EMSNOW Up Close. Today, I will be speaking with two gentlemen from Cogiscan. We have today Francois Monette, who is the the Chief Sales and Marketing Officer, and Mitch DeCaire, who is the Director of Business Development. Cogiscan, of course, is the leading connectivity and TTC solutions provider for the electronics manufacturing industry. And there's some news that has been announced here recently by Cogiscan. But what I'd like to start with before we get into the actual news is Cogiscan was actually acquired by the iTAC group almost a year ago in February of 2021. But Francois, you've been collaborating with iTAC for, gosh, 10 years or more already. So maybe start there. Tell me about the offerings of the two companies and how it's complementary.
Of course, yeah, of course. Well, initially, right, the focus of Cogiscan and the focus of iTAC was different at the beginning, right? So we're coming really from the bottom up, meaning we're starting from the shop floor, connecting machine, collecting the data, and then started adding more value with features like traceability, material management, and more recently analytics. So we're really closer to the machine software, I would say. Whereas an iTAC is really a high-level enterprise MES, right? So they're coming from the IT world and coming down to the shop floor. And both companies excel in what they do. And actually, we found out over the years that in many instances, a combination of both technologies is the ultimate solution for customers. You know, we don't really believe in one company can do everything perfectly well. There's a limit to how much you can have an integrated solution of coming from one platform. And so we just felt like, you know, this is a very natural fit. And we see this kind of combination in other industries as well, where there's a layer of software that's closer to the machine, the connectivity, the data collection, you know, is done by experts. And then the high-level MES function done by another company. And that's exactly what we've been doing for about 10 years. So over the years, we've had some joint, corporate implementations at companies like Schneider and Alpine, you know, so large groups that implemented both solutions and really benefit from, you know, that combination of the strengths of both companies. And that's what eventually led to this acquisition. We just felt, hey, if we combine these two things together, we're going to have the best portfolio, the best combined solution for the electronics manufacturing industry. And so that was the vision. That's what we achieved a year ago. And since then, we've been basically working really hard on furthering the integration between the products and the business to really deliver even more and more value to the customers. As you know, the pandemic has just accelerated the need for manufacturers to digitalize their operation. And now we can come into a very large customer as part of their group and essentially offer the whole range of solutions, right? Starting from just machine connectivity, if that's all they need, to traceability or lean MES type point solutions, all the way to a fully integrated MOM, if that's what they need. And we can take them on that journey, you know, and really just follow their requirements one step at a time. So there's no other company or combination of companies in the industry that can do what iTAC and Cogiscan can do today. So we're very excited about that.
And those synergies have led to the recent announcement. So let's get to that. Is the Cogiscan's, you're expanding your product offering to include iTAC's MES MOM suite. Tell us about that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is very exciting for us. We will be able to offer the complete MES or MOM suite from iTAC. And, this really expands the scope and breadth of the capabilities that we're able to offer to our customers. As you know, Cogiscan has been a leader in traceability and process control and line monitoring in the SMT world for years and years. And by adding the MOM suite, we're capable now of expanding into other areas where traditionally we didn't necessarily have a leadership position. A couple of examples would be computer-aided quality. The iTAC team has a high level of expertise and experience in SBC functionality based on process CP and CPK values. So the solution that we can provide, for the test engineers and the quality management teams of our customer base has now gone to the next level. Another good example would be in the areas of back-end assembly, right? So we have a lot of customers who are using us for traceability and process control throughout the circuit board assembly operations. And then after that, what Cogiscan would traditionally view as the completed PCBA, that now goes to the next, it might be in the same factory, it might be another factory within the same company across the parking lot or in another country. But this is where iTAC has that capability of tracking and controlling the process all the way through. So we could literally be going from circuit board assemblies to a finished vehicle or a finished product of some sort, where iTAC can carry that ball forward into these other areas where traditionally Cogiscan didn't really have a solution after the circuit board assembly piece was done. So this really is exciting. And I think for existing Cogiscan customers, it's great because they have a system in place already. And now we have this gigantic growth path that we can offer them. And we're not just doing that from a technology and capability perspective, we're also doing it from a financial incentive perspective. So if, for example, you're a Cogiscan customer and you have the requirements for an enterprise level MES, then any license that you already bought from us, if there's overlap, once the MES comes in, that part of the MES you won't be charged for. So essentially, you're not going to have any duplicate costs in terms of being able to go from Cogiscan to the complete iTAC MUM suite. Your prior investment with us is protected, but now you have all these other new things you can add on. So I think that's going to resonate very well with our clients.
Yeah, I noticed in the press release, Mitch, you were quoted as saying that you remain committed to your modular and scalable kind of approach to this, right? And that
exactly
kind of what you're speaking about right there, that you don't get this overwhelming system, you get to kind of pick and choose what's important for you within the suite that's available, right?
That's a great way to summarize it, Eric. Yeah, I mean, we've always hung our hat on the fact that we're engineering driven company. We listen to our customers, we assess their needs, we try to take a very consultative approach to every project we do. We try to avoid selling you things you don't need and focus on the areas where it's 80-20 rule everywhere you go. There's if we can focus our energies on where 80% of the problems or any 80% of the improvements can be derived from, you're going to get better value for your dollar with us. So that approach is consistent with this expanded portfolio.
One thing we found over the last year, which I think goes right in line with this observation, is that we notice some very large customers have a wide range of business units, a wide range of factories, right? And they realize that they don't necessarily need the same level of software capability in each factory or each business unit for that matter, right? Because maybe different customers have, in the automotive require very high levels of quality control and traceability. Maybe other business units or different customers require less. So the idea of this modularity that we offer now, in some cases, a Cogiscan standalone system doing traceability will be enough for many of the sites. But some of the sites doing more sophisticated product may need to go to the full-blown MES, MUM from iTAC. But the idea is, again, they don't have to pick or choose one or the other. It's going to be whatever functionality they need in each factory. So they can really optimize the cost and the functionality based on this broader portfolio. So
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, factory digitalization, we always talk about it as a journey. And so as with every journey, different, even within a big company, there's going to be different plants at different parts of that journey. So depending on which part of the journey you're on, that will dictate whether Cogiscan only, or in some cases iTAC only if it's back-end assembly, or in some cases the two coupled together through the new iTAC MUM workbench, which is something that we already released at Productronica and will be showing at Apex. Already has Cogiscan functionality completely embedded and seamlessly integrated into the iTAC workbench. So that's something that we'll be showing in a couple of weeks in San Diego that we're very excited about.
Yeah, and as you just indicated, this isn't just a press release announcement that this is coming. This has happened already. And so you already have some customers who are utilizing it. How's that experience? What's the feedback you're getting there?
It's very positive so far. We're coming close to the first year of the joint operation with iTAC. I would say the results have exceeded our expectations. And we see again an increased demand for so I think the real challenge for us will be to manage the demand and execution, right? As we're going to grow very fast over the coming year. But that's okay. We've been planning for this. We're prepared, and we're very confident we're going to continue to maintain our high level of execution that we're known for, right? While being able to expand and grow quickly. So, yeah.
And this really does, you know, as was stated, kind of expand your reach deeper into that factory, right? So you're taking your expertise and really being able to expand that. And that goes into, I think, beyond just I mean, more into what the box build, the final assembly, all of those processes that you hadn't traditionally touched. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, areas that we didn't participate in before, you know, are now part of our suite. I mean, advanced planning and scheduling is an example where we didn't have anything at all. Now we have a leading solution through iTAC and the Door Group of companies. We also talk about, you know, Cogiscan's always talked about our analytics platform, which we call factory intelligence traditionally, which has a real-time element and a historical analysis element to it. In terms of what iTAC can provide, you know, well, let me take a step backwards. Factory intelligence has always been sort of looking at a specific line and a specific factory. You know, with iTAC, we can take it to the next level where through their manufacturing intelligence product portfolio, you know, we have a BI portal that a larger company can use to have a cockpit in which they're monitoring not only lines and factories, but actually comparing one factory to another. And so this is just, again, like taking it to the next step up the food chain, so to speak. So again, like Francois said, with you know, starting out, maybe it's factory intelligence on an SMT line. Maybe at a later point in that journey, we're talking about having visualization of all the factories globally, so that someone at a corporate level can be monitoring everything all at once.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Go ahead, Francois. I'm sorry.
So I was going to mention that this corporate type discussion is one of the big changes from before the acquisition until after the acquisition. So Cogiscan, obviously, you know, we're a fairly small company based in Quebec, Canada, right? We've been doing international business development for years, but still, when it came to signing very large corporate deals, you know, with very large corporations for multi-site implementation, sometimes the size was a bit of a challenge. Now we're part of a 4 billion euro group, right? Again, with all these other products that are part of the portfolio. So over the past year, we've had, you know, more and more of these corporate level discussions, and we've announced JBuild earlier this year, you know, for corporate wide connectivity, machine connectivity. That's part of their smart factory roadmap. But we have many more that will be announced in the coming months, you know, and some very exciting corporate deals of that nature. And we're really focused on growing that part of the business now that we're part of a bigger group, and then we can really address those types of business needs.
Yeah. I mean, it does sound like it's the realization of that full factory digitalization that we've always talked about for a while, right? Getting into the smart factories for customers. And that means different things, I know, for different types of customers, different types of industries. But the full suite of this now helps customers along that journey. Is that fair?
Exactly. And again, if one company is trying to develop all that by themselves, you know, it's going to take, you know, years and years, obviously, and they will never be an expert in every area. So in the end, you end up with something that does a little bit of everything, but nothing really well. Whereas the digital factory strategy is to acquire leaders in their respective areas and offer the integrated solution. You know, we have to be well integrated, like Mitch said. It has to be from a common GUI and things like that. But each company remains independent, remains the leader in their own technology. You know, we're obviously the experts in the connectivity and TTC, but there's a company called Dualis that iTAC acquired. That's an expert in advanced planning and scheduling, right? And that's all they do for a living. Now we integrate that into the overall MOM suite. So this is just an example of bringing best of breed, you know, type of modules in a fully integrated solution just of both worlds, I think.
Okay.
Sorry, just one little point to add. You know, some of the points I made earlier were, you know, advantages to Cogiscan customers, you know, the growth path they now have. It's worth noting too, if you're an existing iTAC customer, because of this merger, now there's similar advantages to you, and it goes back to what you said, Eric, about the modularity and scalability of our platforms. We can go to an existing iTAC customer who's never used a stitch of Cogiscan stuff and now offer them complete plug and play connectivity, whereas beforehand the system was more of an API based connectivity solution with iTAC. So we can provide more of a plug and play solution in terms of connecting their machines to the iTAC platform. So they may already have the iTAC platform, but maybe they're bringing in new equipment, and rather than have their IT people use the prior API approach, they can use what iTAC calls SMT Edge, which is a plug and play connectivity based on our platform, based on traditional Cogiscan technology, as well as the SMT dashboards that we're known for. So that's also rolled backwards into the iTAC suite. So it's a benefit for Cogiscan customers who want to grow, and it's also a benefit to iTAC customers who want to take advantage of these additional features that we're now enabling within the iTAC MOM suite.
Oh, very good. Before I move forward into Apex here in a couple of weeks, let me ask Mitch, is there anything else about the platform, the benefits that customers derive from this collaboration that you'd like to comment on?
Well, I think we summarized most of it, in terms of scalability, modularity, flexibility, and dealing with industry experts in their field, like Francois mentioned, with Dualis, with iTAC, with Cogiscan, where all three of us are leaders in our field. And now, because we're part of the same family, our combined customers can just take advantage of this expertise without throwing away any prior investments they've made, or without having to pay twice for the same thing ever.
Yeah. And I'm sure that that's quite desirable to a lot of them when money's tight in this environment. So let's talk about Apex a bit. You will be at attending Apex. You'll have a booth there, I believe, in collaboration with iTAC, sharing booth 3121. What can we expect there, Francois? What we came to the booth? What are we seeing? What's happening there?
It's going to be a little bit similar to what we showed at Productronica, but in North America this time. It means it's the first time we'll have a joint booth with iTAC and Cogiscan. So a bigger booth with more products, more people, more experts available. So we can show individual products, of course, but we can also show complementary solutions and the whole portfolio if we have to, depending on the customer's interest, right? So there'll be Cogiscan customers coming in that may express interest in iTAC products, so we'll just introduce them to the right experts, and vice versa, conversely. So that will be interesting to see that dynamic. It's been very successful at Productronica, and we expect similar results here at Apex. People will be able to see what Mitch was talking about earlier, this workbench, GUI that can integrate the Cogiscan modules inside the same iTAC look and feel. So all of this will be available to show to customers that come to Apex this year. So lots to see. So people should plan at least 1 hour when they come to see us.
1 hour in booth 3121 there. Actually, I looked at the floor plan, and you do have a very good location off of Broadway, so to speak, right? The main street.
Definitely, yeah. Kudos to our marketing people on this one. Yeah.
Ah, very good. And I was not able to attend Productronica this past year, so missed out on this. So I look forward to seeing this in a couple of weeks. And this is exciting news. So congratulations to both Cogiscan and iTAC. I think it's an interesting collaboration that will be worth watching as we move forward into the year ahead. Francois, you even alluded to some other possible other announcements coming later in the year. So look forward to hearing those as well. Gentlemen, thank you very much. I wish you a successful Apex, and I look forward to connecting with you there.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Eric.
Great. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.